what we really crave, what we really need is connection.
Every day in this great city of ours,
She just made me feel better about myself all the time.
someone is lending a helping hand,
The fact that they would go through those lengths to give to the community, it means a lot.
giving their time and their talents
His family is so selfless to give so much of him, to the whole city.
to make a difference.
I felt like I had the best teacher in the whole school, and she prepared me for the world.
I didn't know how wonderful somebody else could be in my life that I didn't even know.
Now you're about to meet these unsung heroes
He just kind of took a chance on me.
Someone who believed in me.
and see how they're quietly making Milwaukee a better place for all of us.
Love is what we need.
That's the biggest thing in the world that matters today in saving these kids' lives.
She has a passion for her life.
Joyce is the kind of person that you just can't forget about.
If you find a way to be consistent, you can be anything.
From the Northern Lights Theater at Potawatomi Hotel and Casino, this is the TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards. Now here is your host, Carol Meekins.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you and welcome to the TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards. Tonight, we are going to honor 8 incredible people who have made our community better and actually much brighter. Now, each of our winners tonight will receive $1,000 for the charity of their choice, and our Inspiration of the Year winner will get an additional $4,000 for the charity of their choice. That's $5,000. And without further ado, let's meet our winners. Our first honoree isn't just teaching kids to love reading. She's teaching them to explore their own city, and most importantly, she's teaching them to dream big. And here to present the award for the inspiring teacher, the TMJ4 Morning News team of Tom Durian and Simone Woolridge.
Thanks, Carol. Well, Danette Justice loves to read aloud to her students. So when COVID made that difficult, this MPS teacher took the challenge head on. If students couldn't come to her, she would bring reading to them.
She started her very own YouTube channel called Just Us and Books, a play, of course, on her last name, Justice. Her videos bring children's books to life and show her young viewers parts of Milwaukee and Wisconsin they might never get a chance to see otherwise.
Danette Justice from Seaford Elementary is our inspiring teacher.
Your skin is wondrous. The end. Chloe's Beautiful Blues. All right. Building a culture of reading, that's kind of what I try to do in the building. I always say readers become leaders.
She is a rock star, superstar, and that we have a great talent here in MPS.
I felt like I had the best teacher in the whole school. She made reading fun. We was always, sometimes we was always singing.
My name is Danette Justice, and I am a SST at Seaford Elementary School. It's a school support teacher. We kind of do a little bit of everything in terms of content, social studies, math, literacy. I went to Shorewood, Lake Bluff School, Miss Olson, 3rd grade. I was a little rambunctious, and so Miss Olson bought me Where the Sidewalk Ends. That was the moment I fell in love with reading. Where the Sidewalk Ends, and this is probably like my 3rd copy.
She's out there spreading on her YouTube channel, Justice and Books. She's out spreading literature across Milwaukee, which is great because a lot of kids, they don't have books at home, and so she brings the stories into their homes, which makes the stories a lot more engaging, and they get to see her, and a lot of the kids kind of think she's a celebrity.
So we entered into COVID. We were really just trying to figure out how to instruct students virtually. When we went back to school in September, we were still virtual. And usually on the first day of school, I go around to all the classrooms and do like a first day of school reading, like, oh, so glad you're back. And since I couldn't do that, I did a recording on my phone, uploaded it to the teacher's Google Classroom, and that was it. And one of the teachers asked, okay, well, what are you reading next week? And I said, oh, okay. So I did another, and that's kind of how Just Us and Books became. There was a a snowstorm, and it was supposed to be a read aloud day. I was literally in the snowstorm reading A Snowy Day.
The snowy day.
And everybody was like, oh, that is so cool. And I thought, oh, why don't we start going to other places?
She shows Milwaukee in a positive way to kids who might not get to these places, but then they also get to see like, wow, this is how a donut is made. You can see it being made in the back. And Miss Justice will explain it, and then you get to taste it. And
it's very important to be able to read, like especially like when the kids started going for jobs, you gotta do the applications. In order to do the job, they're gonna have to read, and she's making it happen for them.
I see kids falling in love with reading. Kids that, aren't normally in love with reading. That is exactly what I want to happen with this.
Now it's going like all throughout the world because all the kids in the world can see those books that are on the screen at home.
She showed me how it's gonna be out in the world, and she prepared me for the world. In the long run, when they get older, they're gonna thank her, just like I do on the daily.
If they see us enjoying a good book, if they see how to enjoy a good book, kids always want to emulate adults, and so they will follow suit.
They get ideas and they plant those little seeds in their heads, and then they're able to go on and read about those careers that they might want to have. And I think that's something that Miss Justice shows, all the different things that you could be.
I thank you for being, just being there for me throughout my whole school years, my adult years. I love you dearly.
It's all about building a better community, a better city, a better state, and a better world.
Please welcome to the stage this year's winner of the Positively Milwaukee Inspiring Teacher of the Year Award,
Danette Justice.
Okay, breathe. I am thankful, grateful, and blessed. I'd like to thank WTMJ4 and their award-winning segment, Positively Milwaukee, for this tremendous recognition. I'd also like to thank my amazing family, friends, colleagues, and former students who have become family, for the support that you all give me with my ideas, my shenanigans. It's always something. I always say it takes a village, and I am truly thankful for that village. Being an educator is not always easy, but it's something that has truly enriched my life. So, as you heard, because of the pandemic, Just Us in Books was created. It's a YouTube page that is near and dear to my heart. It brings me so much joy. And really, I am just trying to reach each child one read aloud at a time and kind of expose them to the city of Milwaukee. I do want them to fall in love with reading because, yes, readers do become leaders. Thank you.
Danette, congratulations. I have a feeling that your kids are never bored in school. Well, a kind word, a smile, a hug. Sometimes they're exactly what we need during the darkest times of our lives. Tonight, we honor a local senior who provides kindness and a whole lot more to a lot of families who are going through a health crisis. Here to present our Inspiring Senior Award is TMJ4 morning traffic anchor, Adriana Mendez.
All right, on her walks around home, Lorraine Kuffler noticed a place called Kathy's house. Naturally, she was curious about it and knocked on the front door. And as you're about to see, the rest is history. Lorraine has become the longest serving volunteer Kathy's house has ever had. And get this, she is in her 90s. Here's our Inspiring Senior of the Year Award winner, Lorraine Kuffler.
She's really the heart and soul of our culture of caring, and she has longer tenure than any of my paid employees.
I didn't know how wonderful somebody else could be in my life that I didn't even know, and that Lorraine did that.
So she's not just I'll walk in and do my hours and I'll leave. She really lives the mission of Kathy's house.
Kathy's house is a place where people come who have come to the end of their rope sometime. They come to Freighter. They're new. They don't know what a big city is like. They're scared. They have big problems, and we make them feel comfortable, safe. We take care of their needs that they have outside of the hospital.
And kind of an oasis for people who are suffering from illnesses that can't be treated in their own communities.
So I stayed at Kathy's house, my husband and I did, for almost altogether 8 months. He had bone marrow cancer, and so he had got a bone marrow transplant, and it was great, you know, and everything went well. And I remember coming home and Lorraine she was as happy as I was. She was just full of joy, and it was like it was her son.
She can really kind of read the room and know, okay, maybe this person needs a cup of coffee. Maybe this person needs some water. Maybe this person just needs someone to say, how you doing?
Things were really hard and really unbearable almost. And she was just there as that soft presence. I remember one time just having my head on her shoulder, just crying, and her holding me and having the exact right words. And that comfort was, you know, that she had a gift. She has a gift. Wow.
It's just kind of in my nature. It makes me feel good to help other people. We can't solve their problems, but we can help them make their life here while their loved one is at the hospital. We can make that better.
I think somebody was nice to her once, and she knew how valuable that was. And she decided I could do that up for others, and she made it a way of her life.
The first year I was there, I was having lunch with some ladies. They always ask about Kathy's house because I talk about Kathy's house constantly. They said, maybe we should do something for Kathy's house. So we decided on a paper shower. Paper towels, paper napkins, toilet paper. It's a big need. We just had our 9th one. Never dreamed that we would go every year for 9 years, but we just had our 9th year. And we collected $5,000 and about 2,000 pieces of paper products. People like Lorraine, you know, helped us build a new Kathy's house so we can serve twice as many families. We wouldn't exist if we didn't have money, if we didn't have people who gave $25, $50. We're so lucky that we happened to be in the neighborhood where she lived, and she literally, you know, knocked on the door one day. I think she really blows out of the water that perception that, well, we need to slow down, you know, as we age.
We appreciate the role you've played in our lives, as well as the way you've taught us to take care of other people.
I would say, Lorraine, every smile, every hug, every time that you took time for us made a difference in our life. And I hope I can grow up and be like you.
Oh, I think just from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Please welcome to the stage our Positively Milwaukee Inspiring Senior Award winner, Lorraine Kuffler.
Thank you, Positively Milwaukee. I thank my sons who are here and my special friend, Patty Metropolis, who is our president and CEO. And a special thank you to Liz. She is our marketing person. She's the one who nominated me. There isn't much more to say other than I enjoy working at Kathy's house. It's a very special place. When I enter Kathy's house, even to this day, I have this wonderful feeling. Something wonderful is happening there, something magical. We have people coming from all over the country, and when they come to Kathy's house, the first words they hear are, "Welcome to Kathy's house. How can we help you?" Then magic happens. We take care of their needs, whatever it might be. We cry with them, we laugh with them. When someone comes and says, "Hooray, we're going home early," we do our little dance. Right, ladies? Thank you, my coworkers. Thank you very much for being here. And you're never too old to start something new. Thank you very much.
Here's a man in Milwaukee who's actually been changing the lives of young people for decades. He's done it through a lot of ways, through his 500 Black Tuxedos event, his community theater work, and his community gardens. And it's time now to sing his praises. Here to present our Unsung Hero Award is Milwaukee Mayor, the Honorable Cavalier Johnson.
He teaches us to garden, but he's really planting the seeds of success. He puts us to work with rakes and with shovels, but he's really giving us the tools we need for the rest of our lives. He makes us show up on time, and he makes us put in a hard day's work, but he's really showing us how to set the bar high for our own future. When Andre Lielis started the We Got This Garden, he had no idea how many lives he would change for the better. And it all started with one young man and a knock on Andre's door.
A woman frantically knocked on my door because her 11-year-old son was being arrested for breaking in cars and doing things like that. And I just couldn't see them arresting a little boy that young and giving him a record. The stuff he was doing probably would have made him a felon. I don't know if you could be an 11-year-old felon, but he would have been in the system, and we all know what that does. So when we got to the station, we were talking with the liaison officer, and then I made up a little bit of a heavenly lie. And I call it heavenly because of what it turned into. I said to them, I said, well, you can't arrest Jermaine because Jermaine is the first recipient of a scholarship that I'm giving to children in the neighborhood. The captain wants to know the name of your organization. And I said, we got this. It came out just like that.
So what do? Do you send a kid to jail, or, do you figure out a way to kind of rehabilitate in the neighborhood?
Every Saturday, more boys showed up. I don't even know how the word was getting out because we weren't advertising.
When you see something grow from nothing, when it's just dirt, and you see the first sprout, the first leaf come out, it just gives you a drive to continue to want to, build more and want to see what else it can do and produce.
We Got This played a big part in who I am today. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for We Got This. And I was always told either you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to accomplish that. I never had those resources around me. And so I ran into someone who believed in me, and that's how I got here today.
I was always being called by the principal to come over there because Malik had a temper, he was angry.
I was acting up. It's either throwing books, throwing desks, just doing a lot of out of ordinary stuff that shouldn't be happening.
Somehow, later on around 14, 15 years old, a light bulb came on in Malik's head.
I was angry because I never had a father figure in my life. So he came and he was that father figure for me.
You can't put a number to it, but just within this program and working side by side with them on a lot of things, we've impacted thousands of lives.
We're really, really growing. It's really, really happening. I didn't know that the Creator had this much love for me. One Saturday, I had 100 little black boys in the garden, 12 to 16 years old, and I asked the question, how many of you don't know your dad? And 90 of them raised their hand. I said, listen, in the microphone, I said, listen, I don't have to be your birth dad. I am the earth dad.
Which means that he takes me in as one of his own. I might not be his own, but he treats me like I'm his own.
Almost every time when I put my hand on their shoulder and I say one word, I say, son, they break down emotionally because they never had anybody to call pops.
Like, he has impacted countless and numerous lives of people that I know personally, and even people that I don't know who I'm still meeting at this point in time to send if they know Mr. Andre.
As long as you have your hands in the soil, you can keep them off the trigger of a gun.
My dad is an amazing man. He's one of my favorite people, and he's a big, big inspiration for me.
He literally kneels on the earth and puts his hands in the soil so that he can help kids in the neighborhood.
It's just amazing to have somebody like him to be able to work side by side with.
He puts everybody before himself. And I think that's a big reason why he has some of the health issues he has, because he doesn't put himself first.
Even after having 4 heart attacks inside of a garden, he never gave up, never gave up. And for that, I love him dearly.
So the greatest gift that God gave us to give, and it's free, is love. And if we all would love ourselves, love each other, we would love our world, and we would get rid of a whole lot of the negative things that are going on. Love is what we need.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight it is my honor to celebrate someone I have admired for a very long time. This year's Positively Milwaukee Unsung Hero, Pops, Andre Lee Ellis. Why don't you join us on stage?
All thanks and grace unto God for being just an incredible force to allow me to keep living and to do what I do. I want to thank my mother. My 90-year-old mother is here. And I didn't know somebody else your age was going to be here too, Mother. But Lorraine made it. In 2014, all across the news, all across America, they said Milwaukee 53206 was the worst place in America where you could raise a black boy, where a black family could be raised. And I thought that was ridiculous because we were already over there working and we were doing wonderful work, and young black boys were coming to the We Got This garden, and we worked and we worked. I'm so grateful to TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee. I might have used to be unsung, but after Thanksgiving, everybody's gonna be singing about the cage. It's a good time to be alive. And I thank you, Mother dear, for giving birth to me, giving life to me, 14 children. You are an incredible human being, Mother dear.
Andre Lee Ellis, it is stunning to think about the number of lives you have changed and touched. We have a local brother and sister to tell you about now. It's a team that have turned their passion for skiing into a passion for helping others. And here to present the Positively Milwaukee Inspiring Youth Award is TMJ4 sports anchor Lance Allen.
Thank you, Carol. For Jackson and Mia Dar, downhill skiing has always been a great escape. But Jackson and Mia noticed a lack of diversity on the slopes, especially among the kids. So on a long chairlift ride, they hatched a plan to try and make their favorite sport more accessible to any kid in our community. And that's how Positive Altitudes was born.
Jackson and I have been skiing pretty much as long as we can remember. I think we both started around the age of 3.
I love skiing. It's like a stress reliever. It's a break from everything that's going on in your life. It's a time where you can just forget about everything that's going on. When Mia and I were on a chairlift, we were thinking of ways to give back to the community, and skiing was one of the things that we loved, so we wanted to be able to provide this opportunity to kids who didn't have the chance and the resources to do so.
They realized when they were skiing that there are not very many people of color that ski, so there's a big disparity there.
I'm really proud that they were able to recognize that they're really fortunate to be able to participate in the sport of skiing.
So we reached out to the Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters in COA, and we reached out to them and to see if anyone would be interested.
What really impresses me about that is Jackson and Mia could have picked any place else in the city, but they chose our members here at the Boys and Girls Club.
Positive Altitudes is a 4-week Learn to Ski program. They were able to raise the funds to provide 50 kids clothing, transportation, ski lessons, and dinner over a 4-week period.
It is expensive. You need your skis, and you need a nice jacket and snow pants and a base long underwear layer, and then you need to get lessons to learn how to ski. So after all that, it kind of adds up.
What's been such a gift in this whole process for the kids and for our family is to see how excited and how supportive everyone in the community is.
They went above and beyond, and to the extent where they started their own 501c3, the fact that they would go through those lengths to give to the communities.
They really took it upon themselves to get it done.
Many of our kids wouldn't even think about ski lessons because they know they wouldn't have the funding or the opportunity to do so.
At first, we weren't sure there would be a big interest.
They loved it. They said that it was a place where they could be themselves. They've never done anything like this before. They were so eager and excited to come back next week.
I remember talking to one kid and he told me how it's like a completely different world.
I saw total enjoyment and elation.
I like being able to go onto the top of the hill because it gives me more of a fun experience to actually be able to learn how to turn and be able to stop.
My name is Zoe and I'm 8, and I love skiing so much because it's so fun and it feels like you're flying.
And on top of that, I like this whole place because it's big and I can just be myself.
What struck me as well with Jackson and Mia is the ease that they related to our kids.
Talked to them about things and it was more of like a friendship than like a teaching opportunity, I guess, and you got to hear their stories, learn about them.
The fact that they could learn about each other's culture, find out that they're just kids. They enjoy having fun. You know, that's the common denominator. Teenagers, most of them aren't really community service oriented. I don't know that you can teach the things that me and Jackson have.
Young people can do most of what adults can do, so just like taking that risk and trying to do something new or try to improve the community around you.
Yeah, even the smallest things help, so whatever you can do is good.
Seeing the full picture come together and really receive the benefit of seeing the joy in each of the kids who were able to participate in the program.
We're looking forward to a long and fruitful partnership with them.
Never give up, always keep going. Even when you feel like you're not good enough or you're not doing it right, just keep pushing at it and keep working at it because eventually you'll get there.
Congratulations, Jackson and Mia, for winning this award, and I hope this is just the beginning.
And we look forward to this being the start of many years of giving to come.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for thinking of the Boys and Girls Club. Thanks for being such great partners. Thanks for your dedication and your perseverance. I know the kids, and I know I really appreciate you.
I like skiing because it's fun and it feels like you're flying.
Jackson, Mia, please come up to the stage and congratulations.
Thank you, TMJ4 and Positively Milwaukee, for recognizing positive altitudes. We are humbled to be in the company of so many incredible people dedicated to making our community a stronger, more united place. If any of you ski, you do not need to be overly observant to see that there are hardly any people of color on the slopes. Proximity to ski areas and costs play a key role in the low participation rate for people of color. But unfortunately, we knew that many kids in Milwaukee did not have the same opportunity to ski as we did, and that seemed unfair. So we decided to see what we could do, even if it was something in a small way, to break down those barriers of cost and accessibility.
As we began our outreach, Jackson and I were blown away by the excitement we received. Thanks to the amazing support of some very special partners, Positive Altitudes provide over 45 kids ski clothing, lessons, equipment, transportation, and dinner to all participants free of charge. We want to thank Sunburst Winter Sports Park for embracing our idea and providing a fantastic place for kids to learn to ski. Thank you to the Boys and Girls Club of Milwaukee, COA Youth and Family Centers, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters for entrusting your kids with our organization. We are so grateful to TMJ4 and Positively Milwaukee for highlighting the positive things happening in our community and for allowing us to spread the word about positive altitudes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, every year we honor a local person who is no longer with us. But that person has inspired a spirit of community service and of generosity. Here to present this year's Legacy Award is Milwaukee Tonight's Cassandra McShepard.
Thank you, Carol. In 2019, an organization called Joyce's House opened in Milwaukee. Since then, it has helped women from here and all over the country maintain sobriety and get their lives back on track. Sadly, the namesake of this amazing organization, Joyce Davis, did not live to see it open. But it was Joyce's own journey through addiction and her dedication to helping others that inspired her granddaughter to create a lifeline for women in need. Tonight, we honor Joyce Davis, with our Legacy Award.
You ever met someone whose smile can light up the room? That's how Joyce was. That's exactly how she was.
I always say, like, my grandmother, she's not one word. She was loving. She was a badass. She spoke her mind, but she also had the kind of heart where she loved people genuinely for who they are.
She just made me feel better about myself all the time.
Every holiday, my grandmother would decorate her apartment building and literally would feed everybody in the entire apartment building. She had a way of connecting with people. She was the kind of person that she would call people over just to, hey, you sitting at home alone? You okay? What's going on with you? She actually cared about people. As a child, I'm just like, my grandmother is struggling.
I can't really say what drove her to it, but I know that that was something that she did habitually. Alcohol.
My grandmother struggled with addiction for over 33 years. This was before I was even born.
I can remember her drinking, but even when she was drinking, she was still just good, a positive person.
My grandmother got clean and sober when I was about 12.
It was like overnight, and she stood firm on it. She stopped just like that.
She changed, and it wasn't like she was a bad person, because people who struggle with addiction are not bad people.
Mercedes had a vision just after Joyce passed, and it was to help women who are struggling with addiction, for people who can't get the help that they need. And so she started this foundation.
The magic of Joyce's House is teaching people how to live a safe and sober life.
She helps them with getting their GED. She helps them with learning how to cook, how to prepare for jobs. There's a lot of things that she offers here for them.
I was a mortgage broker. I had my real estate license. I was living in the penthouse on Lake Drive. Then I started using Oxycontins. Then the heroin came. I lost it all. I was homeless, worried about if I'm gonna get this bag or if I'm gonna eat today. I prayed to get off of this stuff, and the next day I got arrested. So God answered my prayer.
A lot of the things that we've incorporated here at Joyce's House came from, honestly, me seeing my grandmother go through so many different things and how she overcame, and just the stories of where I come from. I developed a really good relationship with her, and it's just, after she passed away, it came to me in a dream.
I graduated the program successfully. I'm still successful. 3 years clean last week on the 21st.
Every part of Joyce's House represents her. And so I know that that'll be something that should have been happy and proud to see.
I have a house. I have a great job. I can cook. Because I lived here. I couldn't cook before I came here. I mean, I'm just living my life. I'm not just breathing anymore, and it feels good.
My grandmother, I can just see her wanting to help the ladies learn how to do certain things.
And she would be extremely proud of Mercedes, extremely proud of her. And she'd probably be here trying to help.
You know, it was a time in her life that she thought people forgot about her. But nobody can ever forget about Joyce. Joyce is the kind of person that you just can't forget about.
I wish I really would have met her, because like I said, she sounds just like my mother. Miss Mercedes is doing an amazing job, and I would just like to say I appreciate the opportunity for having this.
This is a reflection of what a beautiful person you were, and the things that you instilled in us. And we love you, and we thank you.
Thank you for being you, allowing people to actually be themselves, giving them the space to do that. Thank you for being a strong, loving grandmother. Thanks, Grandma. You will never be forgotten.
Please help us welcome to the stage Mercedes Butts, Joyce's granddaughter and the founder of Joyce's House. Mercedes, come on.
Wow.
Thank you all, and thank you so much to TMJ4 and the Positively Milwaukee Awards. I have a few things I have to say. I've been watching her on TV my whole life, and so I was really starstruck, like, oh my God, it's her. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you so much for taking out the time to honor so many people, great people who live here in Milwaukee. As you all heard, my name is Mercedes. I'm the eldest granddaughter of the late and great Joyce Marie Davis, and I'm also the oldest daughter of Nicole Davis, founder and CEO of Joyce's House. My grandmother overcame addiction. Her life, her story continues to impact lives to this very day. In 2019, Joyce's House opened, and since then we've serviced over 150 women recovering from addiction. We've established a GED test center, a GED prep program, developed strong partnerships in our community, and continue to tell the story of how Joyce overcame. This award is for you, Grandma. You were the head of our table. You meant the world to me and so many others. Your life meant so much. This is for you, Grandma, for all the Joyces all over. You can overcome. You can be the change that you want to be in this world. Thank you.
Hi, it's Marianne from the Heiser Automotive Group, and once again, we are a proud partner of the Positively Milwaukee Awards. I know that a positive attitude and a caring disposition can change anyone in our community, no matter what the challenges are. Once a week on the Positively Milwaukee show, Carol presents inspiring stories of everyday people doing amazing things in our community. Through their kind, caring, and passionate actions, each one of them has made a difference. And for that, I am proud to be a part of this incredible community.
Thank you so much, Marianne. While he was in the Navy, Alan Ruppel certainly received accolades. But it's his work in the community after the military service that he's being honored for tonight. Here to present our Inspiring Veteran Award is TMJ4's news anchor, Steve Shamraz.
Carol, thank you. He has his black belt in karate, and he's circumnavigated the globe on a nuclear submarine. But behind that tough guy exterior is a Sheboygan native who has devoted so much of his life to helping kids in underserved communities discover their full potential. Alan knows the key to success is a lot of activity and connecting kids with something larger than themselves. That work through his program Unity in Motion makes him our inspiring veteran.
I grew up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, of all places, right? You know, we didn't have a lot of diversity. When I joined the military, it really opened up a whole new way of, you know, the diversity of the people involved, the different mindsets and so on. It really was a struggle for me to work through. It taught me, no matter how tough it gets, no matter how hard it gets, I won't quit.
Well, I know that he's helped so many children, and he goes above and beyond for everyone that he tries to help. I knew nothing about community service or anything like that before I went to Unity in Motion. I think it kind of got us out of our little neighborhood and little shell that we were in.
He's a role model, he's firm, and he's good at relationship building, which makes him, for a lot of these kids, and even myself, he comes from a mentor to sort of a father figure.
I could not believe the way the program was run. It doesn't benefit him at all, but he has that heart, that passion.
Do the next right thing in front of you and see where it goes. And when I took that attitude into my life, I didn't always have it. I went through struggles, had a tough upbringing, had issues myself, drank and so on when I quit, and decided that I don't want to live in this prison of self anymore. All this opened up.
It was a small group at first, but it grew really quickly.
We built from karate to literacy. We did field trips. There were summer programs. It was just a wonder, it just kind of developed.
So we make a generational promise to a youth. So when you start with us in kindergarten, we say we're going to be there through post-secondary education. And we have that. We said that relationship is the most important thing. Start as young as you can and stay with them all the way.
That's the biggest thing in the world that matters today in saving these kids' lives. And he builds relationships, whether that's helping them in school, whether that's taking them out to outing and things like that. If I need to talk to you, if he need a serious talk, and then he know how to hold you accountable also where you don't want to lose that relationship.
I'm where I'm at in life for like 3 reasons, one of them being God, and the second being my mom, and the third being Unity Emotion and Al, his help. I graduated last year with my bachelor's degree.
Sometimes we think like adults, don't they understand the opportunity they have here? Don't they understand the problems that will come? That's not in a child's mind. A child just sees what's around them, right? Especially for kids in tough positions and tough neighborhoods. They're forced to take actions that normal childs wouldn't have to take to survive. They're not just dealing with homework and reading scores, they're dealing with violence. So we gotta give them a chance to get that outlet, right?
And what me and Al do is we show diversity matters. You guys got people that look just like you leading and getting along.
Thank you for everything that he's done for me. He's been a big part of like not only my life, but my entire family's. I feel like I owe him everything, and so I'm trying to like give back to others.
That's my right-hand man. I always tell him that me and him are Shaq and Kobe. If I could tell anything to Al, I would say that I love you, brother, and I want you to have your flowers while you're here. I couldn't do this without you. I'm not afraid to admit that.
I lived in a very tough place for 17 years. And I thought, I'm a missionary, I'm doing something like I'm tough. But looking at Al, I feel I am too little.
So he's a very compassionate person, and I really appreciate that, and I love him to death for all the things that he's done.
The biggest prison one human being can be in is the prison of self. But actually what we really crave, what we really need is connection. And the best way to do that is to enter into their life. And the biggest gain out of that is you lose this preoccupation with self. We can never live up to that. It's never enough. So the real trick to life is to have it, connect with somebody else. And you do that by entering into their struggles and their triumphs. You wait for the final result. And I'm finally at the part where I'm getting the final result, and that's gratifying.
Please help me welcome Alan Ruppel, our inspiring veteran, up to the stage.
All of us in common here, what I've heard so far, have a passion. There's something driving inside them, a voice. Some will say God, others will say intuition, some will say gut. Whatever you call it, it's there. And you cannot be fulfilled until you take action on that. The relationships you build, the connection you get, that's what keeps you going, no matter what. That's why you take the risk and sacrifice. The ones that are actually out there, the people you saw tonight, already have that connection. They already have that love. That's what manifests out and why they take the risk and take the sacrifice. I really want to thank Positively Milwaukee and Heiser tonight because we get to showcase, and I am honored to be with these people tonight, because this is what makes the difference in the world. This is how it's going to change. But today we get to celebrate not just the people on this stage, but the people we represent. That's the real gift. That's the real award tonight. Thank you so much.
We present our Beacon Award to someone who lives in the spotlight, but uses that spotlight to lift others. Someone who's a force for good in the world. NBA legend Caron Butler is that person. And here to present his honor is TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky.
Thank you, Carol. Caron Butler says basketball saved his life. He often talks about how his troubled youth and early run-ins with the law inspired a wake-up call that gave him the drive to succeed. As an NBA star and now coach with the Miami Heat, Caron has always found the time to give back. Our Beacon Award winner has supported people in need all over the country. And of course, in our hometown, Racine.
Caron Butler may be in the big leagues now, but he had humble beginnings. Growing up in Racine, he spent a lot of time at the Bray Center playing basketball.
I got my career started. This is where I hone my skills at, and I learned how to perform in front of big rowdy crowds.
Butler says the Bray Center kept him off the streets and gave him role models to look up to. And when the center fell on hard times in 2016, Caron went to great lengths to help it reopen.
I pulled together all my friends and resources that I had and collected collectively, we came up with a plan.
It's so gratifying for us, and we will do absolutely the best we can do to make him proud of us.
Helping to save the Bray Center isn't the only time Butler has given back to his community in a big way. He's made a side career of helping out. He donated $200,000 to the United Way of Racine County, YMCA, the Bray Center, and Racine's Juneteenth Foundation. In fact, he's made attending the city's Juneteenth parade a family tradition. Butler enjoyed a 14-year career in the NBA. He's now an assistant coach to the Miami Heat. He wants other kids from Racine to know he's not the community's only success story.
I've seen other kids that manufacture some terrible experiences and turn it into just something beautiful. And I want kids to be inspired. I want them to be hopeful. And I want them to, just really believe in themselves.
It's part of the reason he co-wrote his book, Shot Clock.
When I grew up, I had Great Gatsby, Outsiders, Kill a Mockingbird, books like that to pivot to, but those books wasn't a reflection of what I was dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to create something for kids from all walks of life.
He wants to show kids hard work will take you far.
Things not microwavable, meaning that it's not a such thing as microwavable success unless you hit the lottery, but through trials and tribulation, if you find a way to be consistent, you can be anything.
And as Butler tries to lift the lives of people around him, he admits he could not have come this far alone.
If you supported me, thank you. If you, put your head down when you saw me, thank you for that too, because I'm better from it.
Let me welcome our Beacon Award winner, Karan Butler, to the stage.
I was trying not to get too emotional over there watching the videos. I'd like to thank Positively Milwaukee for this platform, TMJ4 for always coming out in the community and just shining light on so many good things and positivity that's happening. But I'm just a mascot for my family. I really am. I'm a reflection of all the ones that sacrificed for years. I'm a reflection of my beautiful wife, Andrea, who shares me with the world, our blessings that we receive, that we're so grateful for. She's always like, you know what, let's give back. This is important. This is very important, and it's teaching our kids, these valuable lessons, and I'm forever grateful for that. And lastly, I just want to say that, connect with your purpose. I believe that's where the last gentleman was talking about, your purpose, and that connection with your purpose is so important. But leave your mark. We're here for a speck of time. Leave your mark, move the needle on somebody else's process, and make them a better version of themselves. Thank you.
Heiser Automotive Inspiration of the Year Award is something that's very important because this year's winner will receive an additional $4,000 for their charity, in addition to the $1,000. And here to help me announce our winner is Heiser Automotive CEO Marianne Scafidi and her daughter Samantha Kalmus. This is the moment many people have been waiting for.
I want to thank everybody for being here, and I'm very honored, along with my daughter and Heiser Automotive Group, to be a part of this evening tonight.
Samantha has the envelope. So please, ladies, tell us, who is our Positively Milwaukee Inspiration of the Year?
Drum roll. Andre Lee Ellis.
Wow. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below. What a mighty God we serve. 4 heart attacks later, I stand here with you. If the Lord took me tonight, I'm pleased with who I am. And to all of the young men in the hood, I just want you to know, and I say it all the time, if you keep your hands in the soil, you can keep them off the trigger of a gun. God bless you.
Well said. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Andre Lee Ellis, our Inspiration of the Year Award. Thank you for attending our Positively Milwaukee Awards this evening, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed year. Good evening.